Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Kiki.
And I am Mike. Hello, everyone. Today we're talking... I'm so frustrated, Kiki.
Calm down, Mike.
I tried to get to work today, and the taxi driver didn't show up, and then I was on the bus, and all the people were standing in front of the door, so I couldn't get on. And then at the MRT, everyone was pushing off the MRT, and I was trying to... I was so frustrated.
I'm sorry you had such a tough time getting to work. But I hope you can stay calm.
I am trying to stay calm. I'm doing my deep breathing exercises. I have counted to 10 to stay calm so many times today. I'm up to like 2,000.
Well, I hope you tried staying calm during that actual situation.
Well, it is important to try to stay calm when we live in a big city, for example. There's lots of people around when you're traveling at rush hour, like many of us do. Or maybe you're just facing something in your life that's just frustrating. You're trying to learn some math that you can't understand. Your brother or sister bothering with you when you're just trying to like read something or play on your phone. There's lots of situations where you could be like that character in the cartoon, you know, where the steam's coming out your ears and your face turns bright red. But it is important to stay calm, keep control of your emotions. And as our article says, if you can master your emotions, if you can stay calm, you can become strong. So you're saying if I don't get upset on the bus in the morning, my muscles will be getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
Well, sure, if that's how you want to put it, but it basically means that it'll help you deal with different situations better.
Oh, mentally strong, emotionally strong.
That's
That's just as good as having big muscles. So let's find out all about how to stay calm to become strong. And if you don't like the article, just calm down. Just keep reading. You'll learn something, we promise.
We all face problems in life. We may lose something important, have a fight with someone, or do something wrong. In those moments, the problems feel big and stress us out. When we are under pressure, our hearts beat faster and our emotions run high.
All right, so let's learn how to stay calm to become strong, how to keep control, how to stay cool when your temperature is rising and your emotions are running away from you. Nope, it's better to stay calm, to keep everything under control, and then you might find peace in your life when other times you were quite upset.
That's right. Let's see what our article says. Okay, it says, we all face problems in life.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. We deal with problems daily. It could be big or small problems, but we have to face them head on. In this instance, when we're talking about facing something, this is the verb use of it, we're facing something, we are looking at a situation that's right in front of us. So when we're talking about facing our problems, it might be something that you're dealing with, you're having a hard time, and then how are you going to try to solve the problem? How are you going to move on from this? So you have to face your fears. You're scared of something, so you have to face it. You're scared of heights. Well, how do I try to overcome my fear of heights, right?
How do you deal with it? How do you manage it? And you can't just run away from your problems all the time, right? I mean, if I left my house and a motorcycle drove really fast close to me, I'm going home. I can't do that all the time. You have to stay calm and, you know, face your problems and deal with it. Here's a few examples of these little things. And often it's the little problems that make us more crazy than something big that's happening in your life. For example, we may lose something important, have a fight with someone, or do something wrong. Yeah, those can all be situations where you're frustrated, where your emotions are all kind of mixed up together. You're a little angry, you're upset, you're sad maybe. And who are you? You might be angry at yourself as well as the other
right.
person. But these are the types of things, they happen all the time.
They might even happen all on the same day.
They might even happen all in the same hour or even in the same few minutes. So yes, how do we deal with it? This is something it is very good to learn how to do. And also what is very good to learn is everything that Tina is here to tell us all about.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Face 动词面对。Sherry had to face her fear of speaking in public. Sherry 必须面对公开演讲的恐惧。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚课文提到了 A has a fight with B. A 和 B 吵架。Fight 是名词，意思是争吵、争论。我们来看看这个例句。Kevin had a fight with his brother last night. 昨晚 Kevin 和他哥哥吵了一架。接着我们回到课文当中。
So when we're facing all these different problems in a short amount of time, you might feel really overwhelmed, right?
Yep.
In those moments, the problems feel big and stress us out.
Yes.
So something that was really small, like losing your phone,
Right.
you could be really stressed out in the moment and feel like it's such a big deal because if I don't have my phone, I can't call Mike to tell him that I'm going to be late for work.
God, I spilled my coffee and I put butter on my toast, but then it fell on the floor. That's my breakfast. But it's not a big deal. They might feel big at the time and they stress you out. They get your emotions all going crazy. But as it says, when we're under pressure, our hearts beat faster and our emotions run high. So it's not just in your head, it's in your heart. It's actually in your heart and in your heart, like in your emotions. But yeah, actually your body will be changing. Your heart, your real heart there, might be beating faster. And that just adds to the feeling of stress. And so we have this word to beat. Well, that's basically the word that we use when our heart is working. If you're alive, your heart is beating. Congratulations, well done. To beat something can actually mean to hit something as well. If you play music, you might be beating the drums when you're playing the drums. You might beat on a door, let me in, or something like that. So it means kind of to hit, but it's also the word that we use for our heart. Really, our heart is actually more like pumping or squeezing, but when you listen to the heart, we call that sound that's the heartbeat. So we use this verb to talk about our heart working. Your heart beats fast when you're excited or when you're exercising. When you're lying in bed, very relaxed, your heart beats more slowly. It works more slowly. But of course, actually, it's squeezing blood around your body. But yes, we use this verb to beat.
Okay, so your heart is beating faster when you're stressed out and your emotions also run high. Your emotion is basically what you're feeling, okay? It's a mental, if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling worried, these are your emotions, how you show what you're feeling. Okay, on the outside. Okay, so when you are stressed out, it does a lot to your body. But before we learn more, let's go to Tina.
All right.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 beat 动词跳动，它的三态是 beat, beaten. My heart beats faster when I am watching a scary movie. 当我在看恐怖片时，我的心跳会加快。Emotion 名词情绪。Ivy tried to hide her emotions, but everyone could see she was sad. Ivy 试着掩饰情绪，但大家都看得出来她很难过。文法的部分刚刚提到了 under pressure 承受压力，这是一个介系词片语，大多搭配 be 动词使用。Pressure 指的是压力，我们来看看这个例句。James was under pressure to finish the project on time. James 承受着要准时完成这个专案的压力。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, we are back, but that is all for the first part of our article. Calm down, don't get your emotions all upset. We will be back in just a moment with part 2.
Also, our minds aren't clear, so we may do things without thinking. The best thing to do in this situation is to stay calm. It isn't always easy to do, but it will help us get through the problem.
Welcome back. In part 1, we've learned that when you don't stay calm, your physical body actually, it shows
It
too.
changes,
It
yeah.
changes.
Yep.
Your heart beats fast.
That's right.
And you have different emotions.
That's right. You might break out in a sweat too because you're getting so upset. But that's not all. It says also, back in our article, also our minds aren't clear. So we may do things without thinking. Yeah, I think we've all had those times when we get a little too upset. We might, say something we really don't mean, something mean to someone. You might be even the kind of person who might kick something because you're upset and ow, I really hurt my toe or something like that. And then a few seconds later, when you calm down, or minutes later, then you think, why did I do that? Because your emotions were kind of out of control. Your mind isn't clear, and then you may do things, make mistakes that later on you feel pretty silly or bad about. When your mind is clear, that means you don't have a lot of bothersome, troublesome, weird, bad thoughts in your mind. You're very relaxed, you're very happy, you're not worried about things, you're not stressed about things. When you're on holiday, when you're on the weekend, when all your problems seem to have gone away, then your mind is very clear. If you see a friend and even on their face, you can see that their emotions are upset, they're not happy, they're worried about something, they're thinking about something. You might know that their mind is not clear. They're not relaxed. They're not happy. They're not free of all the stress and bother that can come into our lives. Let's go over to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 clear， clear 形容词，头脑或思路清楚的。After a good night's sleep, my mind feels clear again. 睡了一晚好觉之后，我的头脑又清楚了。接着我们回到课文当中。
Welcome back. We're talking about sometimes when you're in difficult situations and you're not calm, you might do things without thinking about it. So what can you do when you're faced in a hard situation? The best thing to do in this situation is to stay calm. Okay, so when you're faced in you're having a tough time, your heartbeat, you're gonna feel a lot of things. But at this moment, you need to just relax. You need to stay calm so you can think clearly.
That's great advice, but of course, sometimes advice like that is like, yeah, but how do I do that at that time, right? When you're upset, it's hard to go to stay calm and then suddenly become calm. It's good advice, but it's sometimes hard to actually do.
That's true.
When you need to. As it says, it isn't always easy to do. True, but it will help us get through the problem. And I think part of it, and we're going to get into this more, is just knowing that you're upset, right? Stopping yourself a little bit, kind of jumping out of your mind or just taking a little step and going, I'm getting upset right now. And just knowing that can often help you get through the problem.
Right. So when you're getting through something, you're going through a tough situation and you just need to continue. You need to follow through what you have to do to solve the problem, or sometimes you have to get through the feelings. Like you might be feeling sad. You can't just say, oh, I'm not going to be sad anymore. You have to feel the sadness and eventually you'll get through it and you'll start to think, oh, okay, what can I do to not feel so sad anymore?
Yeah, that's really true. And actually, it's kind of like that word you explained earlier, to deal with something.
Ooh.
You deal with the problem, you get through a problem, you handle a problem. You don't run away, you don't say, no, I'm fine, and pretend it's not a thing. You have to face it, deal with it, or get through it.
Okay, let's go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的文法 ，get through 撑过或度过难关。我们来看看这个例句 ：It was hard, but we got through it together. 这很艰难，但我们一起度过了难关。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, that's all we have for today, but we're going to have a lot more good stuff on the same topic tomorrow, including some real actual ways you can make yourself calm down in those difficult situations. We're going to give you, hopefully, the tools that you can use to master your emotions. But right now, we're going to review the article, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Stay calm. It's only a few hours from now. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
We all face problems in life. We may lose something important, have a fight with someone, or do something wrong. In those moments, the problems feel big and stress us out. When we are under pressure, our hearts beat faster and our emotions run high. Also, our minds aren't clear, so we may do things without thinking. The best thing to do in this situation is to stay calm. It isn't always easy to do, but it will help us get through the problem.
我们来复习一下这课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 face 动词面对 beat 动词跳动 emotion 名词情绪 clear 形容词头脑或思路清楚的。接着我们来看文法的部分。A has a fight with B. A 和 B 吵架。Nancy doesn't often have fights with her friends. Nancy 不常和她的朋友起争执。Under pressure 承受压力。Students are under a lot of pressure during exam week. 学生在考试周压力很大。Get through 撑过度过难关。How did you get through those hard times? 你是怎么撑过那些苦日子的？以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一次再见喽，拜拜。
A greenhouse is a glass building in which plants that need extra protection from cold weather are grown. And there's a tropical rainforest greenhouse located at the National Museum of Natural Science. Let's go and see what awaits us in the tropical rainforest greenhouse. Tropical rainforests support many different animals and plants on Earth. The Tropical Rainforest Greenhouse at the National Museum of Natural Science has many special rainforest plants. The greenhouse is around 40 meters tall. Tropical rainforests are often called the lungs of the planet because they produce oxygen. Many drinks and fruits we enjoy also come from rainforests, such as cocoa, coffee, avocado, and jackfruit. Even a lot of furniture is made from tropical trees. Tropical rainforests play a crucial role in things such as climate regulation and contributing to the Earth's water cycle. So it's very important that we try and preserve the tropical rainforests. Hope our visit today gave you new appreciation for the importance of tropical rainforests.